Hey guys, before we get into this episode, we want to apologize for the audio quality of some of our voices. We had an issue that we didn't realize until it was way too late, but Jake mentions at the beginning of this episode that, he did in the part that I cut, but he mentioned that his laptop fan was going berserk for some reason we didn't know why. It was just really loud. He was trying to cover it up to where you couldn't hear it. What I found out later on in the editing process was that fan was going because Audacity had decided to change his microphone from his actual microphone to his laptop microphone. So the fan was running because it was using his laptop mic to pick up his audio. So there was a lot of buzzing. You could barely hear Jake, and we didn't realize that until it was way too late. So we sincerely apologize for the audio quality. I took out as much of the buzzing as possible, but the downside of that was it caused Jake's voice to sound funny, like sound weird, like it's difficult to listen to sometimes. But I think I did my best. So I guess we'll see how the rest of this goes. We still hope you guys enjoy it. Let's get into the episode. The current date is March of 2023. Welcome to the Time Capsule Podcast, where every episode is like its own little time capsule. We are leaving these recordings here and won't be touching them for another 20 years, but you can listen to them whenever and wherever you like. So, here we go.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening to those listening, and welcome to the Time Capsule Podcast. If this is your first time joining us, we welcome you with open arms, and if you're a returning listener, welcome back to our crazy adventures. Today, we're going to be talking about our favorite TV shows that may be obscure, or that may be very well known. We'll see what happens.
Indeed.
Yeah, so if
That
you
was
guys made
David.
it back from
Jake.
last month's
That's
episode,
Brian. I got my tea and I'm ready to go.
hold on. Jake, let me turn you up.
I got my hydro flask.
Hey Jake, can you hear me?
Oh, that's good. What? Yes.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
I got cherry flavored
Um,
black tea.
Ooh, yum.
Yeah, I hate tea.
ASMR.
If you guys made it back from last episode, congratulations for making it through that.
Yeah, I'm shocked.
Yeah, it's.
I
Can't believe we just decided to come back, but well, glad to have you.
well, we appreciate it, so thank you. Okay, what kind of small talk y'all got?
Well,
if we
I
have
got a
any.
sexy new phone.
Oh,
I'm absolutely loving it.
what'd you get, man?
I went from a Samsung Galaxy 8 to the OnePlus Nord N200.
Hey.
I
I'm not
know,
familiar
right?
with that.
What?
I'm not familiar with that.
So it's not OnePlus's flagship phone. They're known for their T series. Back when I first got my Galaxy, or I think the big phone was the OnePlus 5T, and I think probably they're now on like 9 or 8 or 9 or 10. But yeah, it's an Android phone. It's much closer to stock Android. Doesn't have any of Samsung's bloatware on it. It's great.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's nice.
OnePlus makes some good stuff.
I
Man, this
have
is
not
some
heard
good
of them.
quality. And it was free. It was free.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Why was it? What? How'd you do that?
Because it used to be my grandfather's, and then he got
Oh.
dementia and went into a nursing home.
Ah.
So I took it.
Aha! Makes
I
sense.
was like, you don't need this anymore. No.
Very cool. Mm-hmm.
Goodness gracious.
You could have just said I found it. That would have. Someone
Found
gave
it on the street.
Someone
Oh, wait,
gave
you're
it
right.
to
I
me.
just found it. Brian, edit that out.
You just hear us going, "Oh, okay, yeah," and then Jake, I just found it.
Oh, man.
Goodness. I just
I
realized I
actually
stink really
Don't
bad
have
today.
any other really small talk points.
I don't either,
Nah.
honestly. Nothing exciting has happened since the last episode.
Yeah, it's only March 10th when we're recording this, and we recorded like right almost at the end of February, so not
Yeah, so it's
not
been
as
like a
much
week and
time
a
has
half.
passed as normal.
Um,
It's funny how we're fine. I'm like not used to us being on top of things. This is so weird.
I know. I'd say
Like,
Probably the most exciting thing is that I don't know. I figured out that I can get like the entire collection of the Hitman series on my Xbox because it's on Game Pass. So
Oh, nice.
I've been playing through 1. I'm almost to 2. I'm just gonna go through all the games and
Are they good?
so. Oh yeah, dude, it's a phenomenal game. If you don't know what it is,
Yeah.
Hitman is a game where you're a hitman, international spy, and you run around and kill people. For
International
a
assassin,
job.
really.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'd say the coolest thing that I've done so far is I was in this like giant like castle thing that was like hosting this fashion show, and there was this guy that I was supposed to assassinate. I don't remember what he was doing, but he was just walking through the crowd, and I managed to knock out a security guard, put on his uniform, and I made it upstairs to like the balcony area. And like
You snipe him?
while he was walking through the crowd, no, I just pulled out my suppressed pistol and walked off. It was awesome. I
Wow.
walked right out the door like nothing even happened. People are like panicking, and I'm just like, doo 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 doo.
Have you
You
ever
killed
played
anybody with the
Metal
briefcase
Gear
yet?
Solid?
I have played Metal Gear Solid.
Okay, is it kind of like that? I mean, I
I
imagine there's similarities
guess.
simply because of you probably have to be stealthy, right?
I mean, you don't have to be.
Oh,
You
well,
can basically walk right past people and they won't say anything to you.
I feel like it's more like either Assassin's Creed / Splinter Cell sort of thing.
Yeah.
oh, that's yeah, that's probably a better comparison.
It's definitely kind of in that Assassin's Creed realm. But yeah.
Well, we'll see with you, Brian.
Oh yeah, no, you go, Brian.
You what? What else is new? Oh, nothing really. Yeah, not really. I mean, I started apartment hunting today.
Nice.
Went to like 6 different apartments.
Any that you like?
Yeah. We've got Riley and I have about 3 that we're looking at the moment. 2 of them. One of them is the apartment that that I used to live in, but like a bigger space. The second one is, I honestly my personal favorite at the moment, mainly because if you get a top floor apartment, then they have like vaulted ceilings, and the whole apartment's really nice.
No, that would be nice.
It's all like new stuff, so really bright and gives you a nice warm feeling. And the other one where the people are really friendly, the buildings look really nice, the area is really nice. It's like right across from the mall.
Okay, yeah.
So, but we weren't able to take a tour today because they were really busy. So we scheduled the time next week to go in and look. So if we like that one a lot, that's probably the one we're going to go with. But at the moment, yeah, my favorite is the other one. It's got a smaller kitchen,
Oh,
but
he's a big kid.
it had a
do?
nice like.
What are you gonna do? Make donuts?
Yeah, no. Well, here's the thing. So the kitchen is really small. Like when you open the dishwasher, it's literally an inch away from the fridge. Like the
Oh,
door
wow.
comes down an inch away from the fridge.
Oh, that's funny.
But the counter where the sink is, like there's got a decent amount of space on both sides of the sink, and it's like the sink faces the living room and it's completely open. So it'd be like a perfect area to set the camera up to look into the kitchen for when we're recording stuff.
That's true. You know, I went actually to see a couple of they were condos earlier today, and dude, we get to this one, and before we even open the door, you can hear because it was vacant, and you could hear the smoke detectors like beeping to like say that their batteries were dying. And then we open the door, and immediately we're hit with the smell of cat pee. It smelled so
Oh.
bad in there,
Oh
and
no!
the carpets were stained brown everywhere, and like it just looked awful. There's garbage all over the floor. I was like, "All right, you turning. Never mind. Don't want this
Yeah.
place."
Not optimal.
I looked at a place like that before. Gosh, the pictures online were so nice. It looked really nice. And then we went there, and the apartment that they showed, it wasn't even an apartment that they like. As far as I'm aware, it was purely a showing apartment. Like no, they said nobody had lived in that apartment in about a year.
Oh wow.
And the apartment itself, they had the dishwasher was pulled out halfway, and there was trash and like stuff all back there, and then the bathroom was moldy, and the carpet looked like it had been stained like a crap ton. It was insane. It was like, this is disgusting. Like why would you have beautiful pictures online and then you like show them this apartment? Like
Clickbait.
why?
That's how they get you, man. it's big apartment. They're trying to steal
Well,
your
well,
Big
even-
apartment.
Even then, like, you would still think they would clean up the apartment before they start showing you. Like, why would they show you a
Some
dirty
effort.
apartment and expect you to want that?
Big apartment, man.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why don't we move on from that low note to our main episode topic. Television. We all grew up with it. We all watched it. It was a very influential aspect of my formative years.
If you didn't grow up with TV, sucks to be you. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh, alright. I'd like to apologize on the behalf of the insensitivity of David there. I'm sorry if you grew up in poverty.
I was kidding.
We're gonna get a bunch of angry comments now. It's like,
Jake,
how
we don't
you
get
know?
we
I
don't
grew
get
up in a
comments
hut.
now.
That just makes it worse. I'm sorry.
We don't get comments now. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
you're right.
Hey, man, if you want the people to talk about you, you have to start off controversial.
That's one way to do it.
I'm helping us. You guys don't
Oh
understand.
no. Okay. Well, the views of David do not necessarily reflect the views of Quinturco or its other employees.
That was awesome.
That's hilarious.
What are you looking at there, Brian? I can tell you're distracted.
I was looking at the Anchor stuff.
I'm
I was
hashtag
trying to
calling
see.
you out.
Sorry, I was trying to see if anybody left us any messages on our last episode. But it
Oh
doesn't look
yeah,
like
you
it.
know what? I will concede that I had not checked the speak pipe. I don't even know if I'm logged into it on this computer that I'm recording on. Let me check up on it. I feel like I would have gotten an email, right? That's how it works.
You should theoretically.
I didn't receive any.
Well, we've got 12 new followers on Spotify apparently.
Hey, that's good stuff. I've been
Thank
picking
you,
up
guys.
subscribers at a slightly increased rate as of late. I'm almost at 300 now on YouTube, and that is the only thing I have left before I can monetize as my subscriber count. I'm at the watch hours and the some other thing, and now it's just the road to 1,000, baby.
Nice,
Man.
nice.
Keep it up.
Yeah, hit that subscribe button.
Oh goodness.
Oh man.
So, our February episode is actually our top in our top 10. It's in our top 9 most listened to episodes.
Oh wow. What's our number one most listened to?
The very first one.
Really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oops.
And 60% of our listeners are female. So,
Hello.
Jake,
No.
Jake, you
What?
your sexy voice is bringing in the ladies.
I can't remember my password. So you know what? We're just gonna. If you did happen to send one in and I just didn't get an email, I apologize right now. But I'm just going to move on to the assumption that the inbox on the speak pipe is empty. So I'm sorry. I didn't have time. I'll be honest. Didn't get a chance. This is how not used to being on top of things I am. So we originally
very
this 10th
true.
episode was going to be a different topic, but I literally just could not. I couldn't come up with any content for it from my life. So I was like, all right, we're gonna push this back and we're gonna do TV.
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I put this list together today, like an hour ago.
Dude, all
And
right.
I just spit out a bunch of the first 12 TV shows that popped in my head, and I also have I have an honorable mention for my fiance that she wanted me to mention, so I'll throw that in there later on.
Oh, I have 4 on.
Yeah,
no,
I don't
5
have
honorable
that many.
mentions.
Yeah.
Jeez.
4? No, sorry, 5.
Well,
That's
in
how
that
many-
case,
I'm pretty
let's
sure
get
that's how many
rolling.
we did last time. Is 3 or 5.
I don't remember.
Not the point.
But let's get rolling on this
Number 10.
to try to keep our time down a little bit. So.
I guess I'll go first. Community is my number 10. Have either of you watched that?
No.
No, but I've heard about it just from references in different movies and stuff that the directors made to it.
Yeah, it's very good.
But other
It's,
than
it's
that-
about a group of ragtag students at a community college studying initially Spanish together, and then they decide to purposely keep taking classes together to maintain their friend group. But it's written and created by Dan Harmon. Actually, I don't know that it's written by him. I think he's probably like part of the writing team, but it was created by him before he became famous for teaming up with Justin Roiland to make Rick and Morty.
Nice.
Okay, so it's funny.
It's really funny. Yeah, it's got Joel McHale as he's like the main male lead, and then its supporting characters are, let's see, Alison Brie, Julian Jacobs. Wait, is it Julian Jacobson or Julian Jacobs? I can't remember. Chevy Chase as the racist, sexist old man, pushing that stereotype, but also apparently that reflects how he's in real life. Danny Pudi as Abed Nadir. One of like the only times I've ever seen a neurodivergent portrayed on screen that is like actually accurate. And Childish Gambino is Troy.
Yeah.
And Yvette Brown. It's
yeah, I know that name.
Yeah. Also, Ken Jeong is Professor Chang. Easily one of the best characters in that show. Oh, Brian, are you eating Haunted right now?
No, I think some of the wiring in my light is jacked up.
His lights
I replaced that. I replaced that light bulb like last week, so it's just funky.
All right then. Well, if your camera feed suddenly cuts and you stop talking, we're gonna assume that it's a ghost that's killing you.
Great.
All right.
That's fantastic.
David, what's your number 10?
All right. For mine, for most of them, really, I had to dive deep into my past to find shows that I enjoyed a lot as a kid, and because I don't...
You say this, but we all know you didn't do nothing.
No, I did.
Let me just chime in real quick with one last thing. Community started airing in 2000. I'm gonna say 2009, but I didn't start watching it until last year, I think. So that's just how hilarious it is. It aged pretty well, all things considered.
Nice.
Okay, continue, David.
When I was a kid, a lot of my siblings are much older than I am. They were born in the 80s and 90s, stuff like that. You know, kind of much older than me. So a lot of the TV that I watched growing up was stuff that they watched. So my number 10 on my list is, I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but it is the Snorks. That is SNORK.
That was on Boomerang, right?
It was on Boomerang, yeah.
Yeah, they were discount underwater Smurfs.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I
was the
remember catching an episode or two between the shows that I really cared about on Boomerang.
That one doesn't ring a bell at all.
It was made in 1984, so it's got a 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb. But 88% of viewers like the TV show. But it was just something that I watched when I was a kid. My sister loved it. I loved it. It was weird, but it was great. The description of it is, the Snorks are a race of small, colorful, anthropomorphic sea creatures that live happily in the undersea world of Snorkland. Very original name. A very original name of the land that they live in. But it was a great show. 10 out of 10. Would go back in time in my childhood to watch it again.
If I'm visualizing what they look like correctly in my memory, don't they kind of look like Snoo, the logo for Reddit?
Yeah, a little bit. It's
okay,
kind of, yeah. They've got most of them have round heads, and then they've got a snorkel on top of it.
Yeah,
they got the two little round eyes that all the old characters have that are connected in the middle, like Sonic. And then,
just
a line smile. Yeah,
the unit eye.
Yeah, it was great.
Sorry, the way you were describing it.
I don't think.
Do I need to just post a picture?
Let me look. I need to look up something real quick. Hold on.
Are you not ready to do your number 10, Brian?
No, I am. I'm sorry, but the Reddit. I just thought about this. The Reddit logo reminds me of a Teletubby.
Yeah, I can see that. I bet you, if there's a Teletubby subreddit, that icon for it is
Yeah.
a masterful blend of Snoo and a Teletubby.
Yep, that's funny. Yeah, no. My number 10 is Codename Kid Next Door.
Oh, good show,
Yeah.
good show, jolly good show.
2002. Oh man, that show was absolutely epic. I wanted to be one of those kids.
Right?
I wanted like that epic treehouse, like secret or the HQ.
Dude, it was so
Yeah, like-
ridiculously massive.
It was, but I was so
like,
jealous. I
funny
wanted
just how
one.
big it was. Like, and all in that tiny little trunk stemming out of. I'm pretty sure wasn't it stemming out of the roof of his dad's house?
I think so. Yeah. let me relook that up. But yeah, no.
And all the freaking acronyms, dude, so cleverly written. Like literally
Yeah.
every episode title of that show was an acronym that stood for like basically a summary of the plot.
Yeah, that's his house down there at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then it
Oh,
extends
okay.
up. Yeah.
Is that like a screen grab from the like 3D render of the Cartoon Network City theme? You know what I'm talking about?
I do not know what you're talking about.
Okay, so Cartoon Network is kind of the like the channel is like divided into different eras. So like I think at the turn of the century, it was in the Powerhouse era, and then it changed to in like around 2007 ish. I don't remember what was between that and the Powerhouse, but around 2007 it was the Scene and City era, and so it was this premise that like every cartoon character from every show that was on the network lived in this one giant city, and while all the characters retained their traditional 2D animation style, on these it was like shown in these bumpers, right, like between commercials and the actual show, and so like the city itself was rendered in like 3D, and they'd be
I know
walking
exactly what
around
you're
the
talking
city,
about.
you'd see like Frankie trying to drive the Foster's
The
homeschool
monsters,
bus
yeah.
around and find a parking spot, for example.
There's
Or
like a mystery
Professor
machine
Utonium from the Powerpuff Girls he like gets locked out of his car in one of the bumpers, and number one actually comes up from Kids Next Door, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna need 6 planks of wood and all this like crap," and he's like trying to help him, and Dexter's like laughing at him, making fun of him, and then,
I think I remember that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then the professor just like, "Oh, here's my key," and he like unlocks it,
Yep.
like
I
little
remember
bits
that.
like that, and like there's a wide shot of the whole city, and you can see like a really big detailed version of the Kids Next Door treehouse, and it looks incredible because it's in 3D.
Yeah. No, I remember that. Yeah, that was. I like that.
I love
I
those.
miss
Those are the
Cartoon Network,
freaking
dude.
best. Shout out to summer 2005. I don't remember what that era was called, but summer of '05 was one of the best series of bumpers I think ever on television. And we'll get back into that.
Cartoon Network was amazing.
Oh yeah, where have the time's gone? Anyway, who's ready for number 9?
I am.
Why'd you say it like that?
You don't remember
Number
Chills?
15.
I've talked to you about Chills before on this podcast.
Number 15. Burger King foot lettuce.
Oh yeah, that's. I remember that, but I don't remember. Okay. never mind.
I was trying to say like Chills. Number 9.
All
Alright, my number 9 is...
Yeah, I've seen that video, but I get confused anytime I hear something other than number 15 because it's the only one I
fair.
ever freaking
Okay, I
heard.
guess. If that's all you... Yeah, anyway. My number 9 is Lost. This legendary series began airing in the early 2000s and
Oh yeah.
captivated viewers almost instantaneously with its mysterious plot and compelling characters. And it's like a staple in my family. Like, my sister's seen the entire show probably at least 7 times by this point. And now I haven't watched it that many times, but I have seen it multiple times, and it's a joy from the the sci-fi to the incredibly skilled actors that nail their characters, and the soundtrack. It's all good stuff. I'm a sucker for like modern portrayal and use of like retro analog technology. Like, there's a lot of like
Yep.
when they find the Dharma stations, it's like on the security footage is on like VHS tapes, and they're like looking at the cameras on CRT monitors, which we're in. I guess at the time the show started, we're not that old, but they are now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only problem I had with that show was like the late seasons, like the last couple seasons, were just so confusing. I couldn't. I still to this day do not know what the heck happened the last season.
Oh yeah, it becomes a
And
very
like,
tangled mess. I mean, there's flash forwards, flashbacks, flash sideways, time travel,
yeah, it's
interdimensional
so weird.
implications. Yeah,
Like the
it's
first
all over
several
the place.
seasons are absolutely amazing, but yeah, the
Yeah,
later seasons so confusing.
yeah, and I feel bad for the writers because like every time you see like one of the writers or like anyone really, I guess, on the crew of the show, like being interviewed about how the ending went, they were like, you know, everyone was loving the show, and we were building up to something, but we didn't know how to end it in a way that would please everyone, and we
Yep.
couldn't, we knew there was going to be no way to pull it off and not have at least again not have everyone absolutely love it through and through, right? Like they definitely felt the pressure leading up to it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I don't hate the ending. It could have been a lot worse. You ask me.
I've never seen it, so I don't have an opinion.
No, man, you gotta watch it.
I'd totally give it a watch.
Yeah,
Totally give it
like,
a watch. It's a good show.
If you're still upset about the ending, however many years later that it's been, think about it this way: they could have like gotten canned by the network and ended on a cliffhanger, and no more episodes came out. And in my opinion, that's infinitely worse.
Fair.
That's fair.
Like this room temperature tea. Ugh. Okay. David, your number 9, please.
All right, my number 9 is gonna have to be Octonauts.
Octonauts.
Octonauts. Octonauts is a children's TV show
Sounds familiar.
about these animals that are on a submarine that's actually like a giant octopus. Is the
Which
theme
channel
of
was it
their
on?
ship?
It's like Disney
It's a great-
Junior or something.
Hold on.
Someone's bonking their mic.
Yeah, it's David.
My bad.
That's gonna be
Sorry
a
about
pain in
that.
the butt to edit out.
I don't know what it was.
Oh man,
Yeah, I want to say
accidentally
Disney
making
Junior,
noise
but
with
I
my
don't
chair
remember.
here. Sorry, Brian.
I don't know, but it
That's
came
okay.
out in
Mine squeaks too.
It came out in 2010, and it was an educational TV show about like sea animals, and that was why I loved it, because I'm a sucker for animals and learning about animals and stuff like that.
Wait.
So
You're not a
So
furry,
if you-
are you?
no,
Okay,
I
good.
just am highly interested in the creatures of this world that are not us.
Fair
So
enough,
if
man.
you look at the logo for Octonauts, let me send it in the Discord.
Birdo?
If you look at the logo, it looks like they're the child section of Hydra.
Yeah, essentially.
The what? Hold on.
The child section for Hydra from the MCU.
I'm trying to. Is it? Did you put it in our on the server?
I
It's in
sent it
general.
in general.
You know what general is, Jake?
Okay. Well, it's not. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Like if Marvel Babies was a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'd
that's super cool show. I mean, it's a kids show, but like at the end, they always have like actual like footage of the animals they talk about and go over like the facts about them and stuff like that. So
Oh,
I
that's
always found
neat.
it-
That's nice.
I always found it super intriguing. It came out in 2010, so I mean, when I was watching it, I would have been like 12. So
Mhm. David, is
Oh.
everything on your list a children's show?
no,
Okay. Okay. All right. Not that I would shame
well,
you for it. I'm just curious.
a couple of mine were, but I've switched up my order a little bit because, like I said, I had like 12 or 13 and so I've been switching on my order.
Yeah, I struggled with this list too, and this order is probably not concrete. I'm gonna weigh that out right
No,
now.
yeah, not for mine either because
Yeah.
it was difficult to figure out a good one,
Absolutely.
a good list. So this one I just changed up like right now, but my number 9 is going to be Superstore.
Okay.
I
Okay.
believe was it ABC? I
think.
believe. don't
You know what? I've been
remember
meaning to give
exactly.
that a try. I saw like 1 or 2 episodes, and I was like, "That's not bad."
It is. It's
Pretty
really
funny.
funny. I mean, it gets a little weird. The not weird necessarily, but it definitely gets. I want to say like probably a little bit more liberal towards the last like season or so,
Oh wait, is it over?
but I don't know actually. I've
Because
watched
didn't
like
they like go through?
there's
Didn't
several
they?
seasons. I want to
Did
say
it
I
air
actually
during the
wonder if it's still
pandemic?
going. Yes, it did.
Okay.
Gosh, now I forgot what I'm looking up. Superstore.
Cloud9, baby.
Man,
2015, 6 seasons. So I think it might be still going, but no, but it for me as somebody who worked in a grocery store for 4 years, I love that show so much because it's like they talk about things and do things that it's like I've been through that. Like the customers they have to deal with, I'm like I've dealt with people like that. It's hilarious.
Is the store, is Cloud9, is it a grocery store or is it more analogous to like Walmart?
It's more like Walmart.
Okay.
Yeah, they
just
kind of have
curious.
it. They kind of have a little bit of everything.
Right. It's like the Walmart that has groceries.
Yeah.
the neighborhood
Right,
market.
yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a very funny show. I love that.
I just wanted to say, you guys brought it to, you guys made me think about it, but it's so weird watching like TV shows and movies and stuff that like were made or like carried over into the pandemic, like 2020, because like
Oh yeah, absolutely.
even the characters have masks on and stuff, and it's like,
Mhm.
oh right, this was a thing. Like, have any of you guys seen the newest Knives Out, The Glass Onion?
No, I keep meaning to watch it, but I
No.
haven't gotten around to it yet.
Oh, it's really good. But the characters, like, at some point in the movie, like, they all have, like, their masks on or something, and I was like, oh, right, this was a real thing. It's just weird seeing it portrayed in, like, fictional stuff.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
will say, have either of you heard of the TV show Manifest?
Yes.
yeah, I've heard of it. Yep.
Okay. I
Watched
think
a
I
little
mentioned
bit.
it before, just because one of the characters in the latest season, I like think he looks like David, but they
Ah,
filmed their
I
latest
see that.
couple seasons during the pandemic, and I don't think any of them wear masks except for where it's like relevant, like when they're in a hospital, right? But at the end of every episode, it'll say like this was filmed in accordance with COVID protocols, you know. So it doesn't quite break the immersion, but yeah, I get it, man. I get what you're talking about.
Number
Either
8,
you-
David, or Jake. Sorry.
Number 8, Arrested Development. I freaking love that show.
Mm.
The witty humor, honestly, it's kind of unlike any other. Like I haven't seen any other show lean so hard into creating and then perpetuating its own like inside jokes and running gags like this show does. I mean, it's just so funny, and Ron Howard, you know, being the narrator and like directly commenting on what the characters are saying and doing. That's like an iconic thing now, but man, that was like also pretty unheard of at the time when this came out. Absolutely legendary. I will say, it sucks what happened to the Netflix revival. Not anywhere near as good as the original 3, but yeah, if you're gonna watch the show, just watch the original 3. That's all. That's all I have to say about that.
Valid.
Okay.
Have either of you seen that?
I have not.
I
I
have
know
not.
about it, though.
Yeah,
Watch
yeah.
it.
I know about it, but
Like
I don't know
seriously,
anything
watch
about
it. It's funny. It's hilarious.
Will do.
You know, it's got David Cross,
Nice.
Henry Winkler, Jeffrey
I
Tambor.
love Henry Winkler.
Yeah, man, he plays their like goofy 2-bit attorney. He's really funny.
All of his characters are goofy.
That's true. All right, David.
All right. My number 8 is a show called Smiling Friends. It is apparently you guys neither of you have heard of it from your reaction.
No, I've heard of it. I just
I have not.
I'll speak on it later. Just keep talking.
Okay. It's just it's on Adult Swim. It's just a weird animated show. There's only like what 12, 14 episodes, something like that. It's not
Are they
very
still
long.
making it though?
I don't know. But if they are, cool. It's just a fun show to watch when you're bored. You know, it's got some funny stuff in it. In one of the episodes, it's actually pretty serendipitous that you were making this joke, Jake, but in one of the episodes, they like walk into the store and the guy at the counter is like, number 15.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
I've
like
seen
a
that
number
clip.
15.
Yeah, that's a direct reference to Chills.
Yeah, he's like ordering off the menu, and I was like, oh, I know that. It's really weird. It can be kind of disturbing. But in one of the episodes, I don't know, but one of the main characters, Charlie, he has to go to like, he gets like trapped in like hell or something like, or he has to like deliver something to Satan. I don't know, but he like goes into like Satan's quote unquote room, and he's just in there playing like Rust on his computer. Like you can see like gameplay of Rust. He's like talking about it. I don't know. It's just a goofy show. I like it.
Did you watch Odie Plays?
No.
Okay, so Smiling Friends was created by Zach. I can't remember his last name, but it's Psychic Pebbles, and he very frequently is a guest on Odie Plays. It's a Let's Play hosted by Chris O'Neill, Oni and G, and the humor there is basically the same. It's a pretty popular web series. Personally, I don't see the appeal. I don't find it appealing, nor do I find Smiling Friends appealing. But I think if you like Smiling Friends, you'd probably like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are we allowing YouTube shows like not that aren't technically TV shows, but they're long running YouTube? I guess how do I like?
Can I shout out Red versus Blue? No.
Yeah, there you go. No, because you said Smiling.
No,
you said
because we're like
TV
shows is going to be in the name of the episode, right? And I literally said television at the beginning of this, but
okay, yeah, this is because like
a video, or I mean, an episode dedicated to like other media that made us. I'm absolutely down for it.
I'm sorry, he said
Rooster
Smiling
Teeth.
Friends, and I thought of Happy Tree Friends on YouTube.
Oh, I thought that was on TV, like a
No.
maybe not syndicated, but
No.
I guess it's streaming.
No,
Good God, I hope it's not on TV.
have you seen Happy Tree Friends?
No.
Okay, watch
Strangely
it,
enough,
and you'll.
it's not blocked on our school computers.
That's funny. I love how you found that out.
Oh.
I'm aware
okay,
that it's
no
like a dark, messed up adult show. I just, again,
Well,
it's one of those things
it's-
that I don't see the appeal.
Watch it. Watch one episode, and then you'll understand why it's not on TV.
No, I'm not saying it like aired. I'm saying like, isn't it on a streaming service? Like a
Is it
TV
what?
show would be. You know what I'm
I don't
saying?
know.
No, it's just on YouTube.
Oh, it's just on
as far as
YouTube.
I'm aware.
I thought I saw it on Hulu. Maybe I was wrong then.
I don't know actually. But okay, so what are we at? Number 8.
We just
Foster's
said number 8, so
Home.
now we're on.
I'm on
what,
number
Did you
8.
say you're number 8?
No,
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. I was
Foster's
trying
Home
to-
for Imaginary Friends.
Yes.
Yay!
sir.
There you go, baby.
Yeah. I love that show.
That show, I love that show so much. I still to this day don't know what the heck those imaginary friends are supposed to even look like.
Imagine
Like, are they
That's,
supposed to
that's the point,
like?
right? They're imaginary.
Are they just like
friends.
random blobs of color that they're just like, oh, okay,
They
let's
look
give these
like
guys a
whatever
name.
you can conjure up with your brain,
I mean, to be fair, Coco is just a random blob of color. So
and
That's very
different
true.
things. She's
That's-
an amalgamation.
yes.
Have you seen the film theory on it where I think it's like what's the chick's name?
Who, the
I
redhead?
don't, yeah.
Frankie.
What is it?
Frankie.
Frankie. Okay, I couldn't
Frankie
think of it,
Foster.
but yeah. So her I saw a film theory. It was basically the entire show is just her dealing with the loss of her little brother, and everything that she's seeing is just her imaginary friend is basically what he is,
Oh, Mac.
and then yeah, and then all
Oh,
the
that's
other-
dark. No, I've
Yeah.
not seen that.
Yeah,
That's like
yeah.
that's not
Where
on
do you
like
glean-
film theory.
where do you-
Film theory, is it?
I don't think so,
Okay, I
but
was
it
gonna
may be
say-
actually. I don't remember.
Where do you like what piece of the show would you be able to glean that from?
Yeah. What's the evidence that they cite?
It's been a while since I've seen that video. It just
'Cause
popped up in my head when I was talking
I'm
about it.
interested where that conclusion could come from because there's
Yeah,
nothing
that-
like
that
unless
sounds
there's
pretty
something that
interesting.
like unless they're like hinting at it throughout the show or like she says something that would like kind of let you infer that. I don't know. That's weird though. That sounds cool. I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, let me. I'll try to find it for you because I don't remember where exactly I saw it. Somebody sent it to me.
Plot twist: it was chills. No, I'm just kidding. I gotta say though, that show has a very enjoyable theme.
It does.
Just the way it almost immediately sets the vibe for the show. And if that's not the vibe that your kid's show gives off, I don't want any part of it. Honestly, exactly. I mean, from the upbeat melody to the fact that it's on a freaking kazoo, I'm all in.
Yeah, I love that show. It was so fun, so much fun, so goofy.
Q kazoo.
Yeah, number 7, boys.
Number 7, Gravity Falls. This iconic smash hit on Disney XD from the brilliant mind of Alex Hirsch came onto our screens, and you know what? I really should have pulled up dates for all these shows, but I'm just going to keep winging it. The late 2000s to early 2010s, roughly thereabouts? Question mark?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
About there.
Again, just brilliant humor, honestly, is what keeps me hooked on most shows, right? Like, I like to actually, if I can watch a show and actually like laugh out loud at it, then that's like a very good litmus test for whether or not a show is good, right? I mean, there's plenty of things you can look at and like exhale a little bit of extra air out of your nose than normal because it's funny, but then the kind of stuff that actually makes you like guffaw or belly laugh, that's what I love to consume right there. That is my lifeblood. And that there's plenty of that in this show. Not only that, but the sci-fi element and the intrigue. This show probably has my favorite season 1 finale I think I've ever seen. Just the way it sets up the portal, and the fact that Stan knows way more than he ever lets on in any of the other episodes of season 1. It's brilliant.
I will say,
and Bill Cipher, amazing.
Gravity Falls is higher up on my list. I was gonna get to there. I'm saddened that it's only number 7, but at the same time I understand there's better stuff out there. But yeah, I'll touch on this more later. Wonderful show.
Believe me, it was a hard choice to put it that low. And frankly, I don't think it's gonna stay there. It's probably going to move up. The more I think about everything else that's on here, it's gonna move up at least 1 slot in the near future. That's not the point. Point is, what is your number 7?
My number 7.
Mm-hmm.
My number 7 is a sitcom that was made in the late 1990s, and it is Frasier.
Frasier.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
I don't know if you know much about it, but it's about this psychiatrist that
shout out to Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
Come on the show, man.
It's about a
psychiatrist. This is not an invitation. If you want to come, for whatever reason, come on our podcast. You are more than welcome, sir.
That show has been a staple in my life ever since I was a young lad because my mom was always watching it. It's one of her favorite shows. So it was always on the TV, and I would always stop and watch it, and it was awesome to keep watching it as I got older because it is an adult show. So I started to understand more and more the humor, and it was getting to the point where I would actually laugh out loud at jokes. So I think it's just one of the better sitcoms, in my opinion, just the way they put it together and the way the progression throughout the seasons is, but a wonderful show.
Is it safe to assume you've seen Cheers?
I've seen some of Cheers, yeah.
See, I prefer Cheers over Frasier.
Spin-off of Cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer Cheers over Frasier. Which actually, that was actually one of my honorable mentions. Funny enough.
Well, sometimes you want to go where everyone knows your name.
Yeah, I've actually been to the actual Cheers bar up in Boston.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
They have a little gift. They have a gift shop there. It's really cool.
Wait, are you saying it wasn't a set, or it wasn't built to look like the set?
Well, I'm sure they had a set. It was built to look like the set. I don't know if it was the actual set or not.
Okay,
but it is some downtown Boston.
Is that where Cheers takes place?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that show was awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
okay,
I've
we're
never
on number 7?
sat down and watched either of those, but I do like Kelsey Grammer. He voices Sideshow Bob in Simpsons, among other well-known characters.
Kelsey Grammer is a great actor.
He is, man.
I don't know if did either of you watch The Troop?
No.
On Nickelodeon?
Nope.
It was this great little gem of a show that started airing in 2009, I believe, and it was about It's live action. It was about a group of high schoolers that secretly fight monsters in their free time. And one of the monsters that they have to deal with is a evil sentient like kitchen sponge, voiced by Kelsey Grammer. Pretty good.
Nice.
And also, Frasier's brother is David Hyde Pierce, who is in a lot of stuff as well.
Yep. Niles.
Yep.
Niles. The one episode that I like distinctly remember from that show is when what was it? Gosh, Niles' girlfriend. I can't remember her name.
He has 15.
It's the British. It's the British
Daphne?
one. Daphne. It was that she left him a special roll of toilet paper, pictures on it or something. And then the last picture on the toilet paper roll was of what he assumed was her boob, but it was actually an accidental picture of his dad's nipple.
Yeah.
And he discovers that, and then his dad keeps making joke or not jokes, but just comments to man, I gotta grab my jacket. It's a bit nippy outside. And I was just freaking out about it because I don't know. It was really funny.
It's a great show.
That's pretty good.
Anyways, my number 7 is The Good Place.
Oh.
I want to say ABC again, but I don't remember. Maybe NBC. What did it air on?
I thought it was just on Netflix.
I think it was NBC originally. I watched the first 2 episodes of that, and I was like, I'm not feeling it. I mean, don't get me wrong,
it's on Netflix.
Just not feeling it.
I love that show. I've watched it so many times. I love it. I really, the humor in it is right up my alley. It's a mixture of slightly dirty humor, but also just I don't know. It's hard to describe. I'm really bad at describing things. If you guys haven't picked up over the last several episodes, I'm a very to the point person. I say what I need to say and that's it. I don't know how to elaborate on things. But it's a good show, so watch it. There we go.
I kind of have been wanting to try to do a video where David and I try to describe color to you. It's have you ever seen those?
No, but that sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's literally people just being red. It's red. It's the color of roses, and then they're just I don't know what that is, man. I'm colorblind. But then I recently saw this comment on Reddit that actually broke down colors in a really poetic and beautiful way. Not really any direct visual context, but it associated them with feelings and things, and it was really profound and moving actually. And I was like, that's cool. But it would ruin the humor behind trying to explain colors. But I still think it would be cool to take a look at if we ever did that as a video. I think that'd be funny.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, number 6.
There's a picture I saw a while back. It became a very viral meme because it was this children's hospital where
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so they had a bunch of red paint that they splattered on the walls
and the floor.
And it looked bad.
Yeah,
it looked like blood splatter.
At first
but they're they're oh no, it's there because of color theory, because it's red, intermittent red or whatever is supposed to help calm down kids or something. I don't know, it was really weird. But that became a viral thing. Anytime there was just random color splattered somewhere, somebody would just comment color theory and make a joke about it.
Brian, I'm trying to remember, what colors can't you perceive?
He's red green.
I don't know. I can't see them.
Okay, but you should still know which kind of color blindness you have, Brian. It's not about whether or not you can see them. It's what kind you have. I mean, well, it's both.
It's red, green, and orange and yellow sort of thing.
Okay,
what color's Craig's background?
Craig?
Yeah.
You talk. I want to say. I don't know. Is it reddish, a light red?
Yeah, close enough.
It's brown.
No. Oh, whatever. Close enough.
It's orange. What do you mean it's brown?
Oh, that's funny. Anyways, keep moving on.
Oh yes, number 6. So my number 6 is Doctor Who, specifically the 2005 revival and run that's currently going right now. I will say, I haven't seen the latest season. I've seen the first. I think how many seasons are there with Jodie Whittaker?
Like 4. I
4
think
now?
4 or 5.
Oh,
I don't remember.
what? That can't be right. I've seen at least the
And
first.
she's been doing
season.
it for a while.
Yeah, it has been a little while now, hasn't it? I've seen at least the first season with Whittaker. I think the first 2. They're not entirely bad. You know, they still have that Doctor Who vibe. But you can definitely tell that the writing is not as good as it once was. But I gotta say, it really started off strong with Eccleston and Tennant, and it kept carrying on
Smith.
with Smith.
Matt Smith.
Yeah,
Dude,
and
Matt Smith is
Capaldi
my
was good,
all-time
too.
favorite Doctor. I loved Capaldi. But yeah, after Capaldi, actually, for me, it died off when Clara left. After she left, it got really hard for me to watch because it didn't hit as hard anymore.
Interesting.
Like the companion after her just didn't. I don't know. I didn't like her.
I've never seen Doctor Who.
Oh, David.
For me, Doctor Who is way higher up on my list.
Yes. Okay.
So.
Hear me out. Podcast series where David just discusses Doctor Who with us. Like we'll do watch an episode and then record an episode. You know what I'm saying?
Watch an episode of Doctor Who and then recorded a podcast episode?
Yeah, discussing what
okay.
David's reaction to it. I don't know how long it's been since you watched through the show, but I pretty much since I watched through them for the first time, I'll go back and rewatch an episode, but other than that,
oh no, yeah.
So it'd be a nice blast of nostalgia for me. I don't know when you started watching the show, but I definitely was not aware of it even existing in 2005. I didn't start watching it until I think 2013. So.
Oh no, we were watching it since about 2008, 2009. I think is when my dad started watching it with us.
Oh wow!
On family nights. Yeah, no, we've been watching it since forever. I think about 2015, 2016, I went through a huge Doctor Who phase where I was reading every single book about it, every single encyclopedia. I
remember.
Got to the point where I could pretty much write in circular Gallifreyan, and I knew how to pilot a TARDIS. I was trying to save up to buy all of the sonic screwdrivers.
Freaking nerd.
Yeah, I'll admit that.
I
still love it. It's actually number 2 on my list, so I'll get to that later.
Oh, awesome, man! Yeah, I actually have right here in the drawer in front of me. I have Matt Smith's sonic screwdriver, and I have David Tennant's over it on another piece of furniture in my room.
Yep, I love that show.
We got a Fez hanging on my hat rack.
Yes,
Fez
because
cool.
Fez
Very
are originated from Doctor Who.
No, but David, if you've seen Doctor Who, you would understand.
You get the reference. Gosh, David, you uncultured swine.
My bad. My fault.
There's that scene. There's that scene with Matt Smith where he grabs a Fez, and then Clara, I think, goes, one of these days you're going to be able to walk past a Fez and not pick it up. He's like, what are you? He's like, you kidding me? No, it's not.
Yeah. Good stuff. And shout outs to just Matt Smith. All the actors, really. They're all great actors.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely amazing.
Now, did you guys ever watch the show Heroes?
No.
Yes.
Okay, do you remember
that was a good show.
Christopher Eccleston was in that?
I did not remember that.
He plays an angry drunk guy who has the power to become invisible. And so he just goes around abusing it and stealing stuff in broad daylight in plain sight, except you can't see him because he's invisible. And he has a mini character arc where he continues with having powers and whether or not he wants to keep using them for good or evil. And the main character keeps having prophetic visions of the future, and every time there's a vision of the city exploding, and you can just see Christopher Eccleston laughing maniacally as he accepts his fate. It's so funny.
I need to rewatch that show. That was a good show. That was NBC, I believe.
Yeah, that was NBC. Shame what happened to it. It got wrecked by the Writers Guild strike. But, yeah, good show.
David, number 6.
My number 6. Oh, God. My mind just went completely blank. I would
No
think.
pressure.
Oh, yeah.
Do you not
no
have it all
pressure.
written down? Come on,
I
son.
do, but I can't. I thought I wouldn't need it.
Come on, son. This is
That's
why I have
unfortunate.
3 monitors in my room.
I only have one, man. Come on, we're not
I'm
always.
just kidding. It's only 2.
I've got. Yeah, I was gonna.
Oh, two. Yeah, that's so much better.
Technically a
what
third
you-
when you
what I
count
was
if
gonna
you count
say.
the screen on my laptop. But that's
Brian, get
neither
back to
here
me.
nor there.
Brian, go
David.
ahead.
Me?
Okay.
Okay, I'll go first. Leverage is my number 6.
What is that about? I've never seen that.
So it's about this group of people, of 5 people, who all have a different like skill set when it comes to being a bad guy.
Okay.
Like one of them, he's a mastermind of coming up with how to like steal things, and basically he's a very smart guy. He used to be an insurance person or insurance agent, and he would scam people out of insurance stuff all the time. Then they have a lady who's a grifter, so she's very good at like what's the right word? Conning people.
When did
They
this
have
come
a
out?
master. 2008, ran for 5
Okay,
seasons.
okay.
Yeah, they have a fighter, they have a thief, they have a tech guy who's really good at obviously hacking into stuff. But it's hilarious for one. It's so freaking funny because like they start out not wanting to work together because they all work alone, like they're all really good on their own. So they have to try to learn how to become a team, and then once they finally do, they just like they work seamlessly together, and it's so cool because like they do these plans and stuff. You don't know exactly what's going on because you don't know the plan. You just know like part of it, and then at the end, the bad guy gets foiled, and he's like, "What the heck? Like, how'd you do that?" And then he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, let me run it back for you," and he explains the plan and how they did it. It's always the coolest stuff. It's like, yeah, I don't know. It's hard. Again, hard to explain, but it's one of those like all these bad guys have to come together to become good guys now, and they're stopping other people from hurting other people and like conning them. Basically, the whole like intro to the show, every episode, he's like, there are rich people out there who take advantage of other normal people every single day. He's like, and we're here to help you like get back at them. He's like, we provide leverage basically to help the little guy get above the big guy. It's like an anti-corporation sort of team. They strike at millionaires and stuff.
Okay.
But really, really good. I love that. It was an older show, but it's so good.
Nice.
And it was actually that was in like the perfect era for like crime shows. Like 3 shows on my list are all like around 2008, and they're all crime shows, and they're all like really like fantastic. Jake, one of them you'll actually agree with.
Okay. Dude, I'm trying to remember other shows that I want to give a shout out to. My honorable mentions list is expanding rapidly. I apologize in advance.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to breeze through those when we get to them.
Yeah, for sure. David, do you have your 6?
Yeah, I found my list.
Hey, good.
All right, my number 6 is I actually do have a couple of these on there, but it's an anime. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of. What are you laughing and shaking your head for, Brian?
Nothing. Keep going.
He knows
it's
you're a weeaboo now.
Yeah, it's
I'm just
Cowboy
kidding.
Bebop. I don't know if you've ever heard about it, but
Oh, I've heard about it. Yeah.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop is
Okay.
one of the. It's from the older animes. It's about space cowboys, basically. Is the premise of it. There's like a kind of a bounty hunter spy guy is the main character, and it's just really cool because they've got some cool ships, lots of cool guns. It's all like retro, basically. So like the ships and like space stations are like really retro, but like their guns are just like normal guns. They're not like space guns. So really cool show. I highly suggest giving it a watch. It's just a lot of fun, and I always like space.
I like space.
Space is cool.
The final frontier.
Space is the place.
It's so cool, if you ask me.
Space is the place for the helpful hardware, folks.
It's so pretty. My computer
Not
can't
quite.
even handle the rendering.
Oh, yeah. That's so cool. All right, number 5. My My number 5 is regular show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Not sitting in the chairs
How
next
about
time.
now, Benson?
Don't be staring at our crotches while we synchronize our watches.
Just so much you can quote from that show. God,
No, I know,
love
right?
it
It's so
much.
endlessly quotable, and that's probably why I freaking love it. But here's the deal, right? It started out as just like goofy, like series of non sequiturs and like random jokes, but it evolved into this like massive overarching story with deep characters and a compelling plot, and it just was so beautiful, man. And the fact that they got a chance to do the finale how they wanted to, and that it actually ended properly after going on for 8 seasons in a movie, dude. I can't. It's a rarity that a TV show gets to do that all
It's beautiful.
in its lifespan. Shoutouts to Pops.
Yep. We actually, at my work, we went around and decided which one of us was which regular show character, and obviously my boss was Benson, but it was pretty fun.
Me and my coworker, my friend Gabe. Shoutouts to Gabe if you're listening to this, even though I haven't told you about it. So I don't know how you. I don't know. Maybe you found out about it. No, not the point. The point is, he regularly says, "You know who else does X, Y, Z?" And I'm like, "My mom."
So I love the one that's they had that playing during the movies. Every now and then there was like a Cartoon Network thing, and everybody's like, all the characters were like shushing each other before the movie starts.
Yeah.
And then that guy would be like, you know who else shushes before the movie starts? My mom.
I'm sorry, that guy? Did you just call him that guy?
I couldn't remember his name, dude.
His name is Mitch Muscleman Sorenstein. Thank you very much.
Okay, sorry, I didn't remember that mouthful. Jeez.
Could have just said
Most
Muscle
people
Man.
just call him Muscle Man.
Dude, I don't remember any of those characters from any of the characters'
Dude,
names.
the hammer, he's real.
Quick, take my picture before I...
I think my favorite...
That's maybe one of my favorite bits, is how they emphasize the size of his man boobs every time. Like, whenever he gets hit and they like flap up and hit him in the face. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Great stuff.
I think one of my favorite episodes is the one where like Benson finds the suit in the dumpster and it like makes his butt look really good and he goes, nice. It was actually my Discord profile picture for a really long time, like his smile face.
Oh, that's funny.
That and the scene, like, you know, the one that's like a parody of like giant robot anime.
Yeah.
And like it's like they're all forming the giant robot together and they get like covered in a like tight latex suit and it puts it on Benson and it shows his like perfectly round butt. He's like, oh.
Yeah, dude.
Oh.
Every time. Oh, what a good show.
What you're number 6, right, David?
No, it's
This
fine.
is 5.
Oh, that's right. My bad.
Number 5.
My number 5 show is actually a show that started out in black and white. That's how ancient it is. No, I'm just kidding. But it's going to be Gilligan's Island.
Oh,
okay.
yes.
Yep.
That's a good one. I want to throw that on my honorable mentions.
Good, you should.
I've never seen that one, actually.
I highly recommend it. It's a really good show. I watched it when I was younger, and it's just about these people that get shipwrecked on an island, and they have to figure out how to get along with each other and survive and like build houses and stuff. It's a comedy, and obviously the main character is Gilligan, and he's the one that always causes problems. But it was just a lot of fun to. What is happening, Brian?
Somebody's walking up around in the dining room right above me, and the floor is creaking, and my microphone is picking it up.
All right, good stuff. But
I hate that.
Just a fun show to watch. I enjoy watching it. I have a lot of good memories watching it with my family.
It has an amazing theme song too.
I will say, have you guys seen the like theory that Gilligan is Satan and the island is either hell or purgatory?
No.
No.
That's all I've like seen.
What?
So like, again, I haven't ever seen the show, so and I'm like recalling this theory from memory. So feel free to correct me. But like apparently, like anytime they like figure out a means to get off of the island, Gilligan is always the one that's like, no, let's stay here, guys. Why should we leave the island? It's a paradise here. And like, if I recall correctly, their characters can be parallel to the 7 deadly sins or something like that. I don't remember. Does it hold any water?
I think maybe a little bit. I remember every time they try to like figure out how to get off, something always happens. I don't know if it's like congruent with Gilligan messing it up, but
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, there are 7 characters, so
That's
I don't know.
Oh, hey, there you go, man.
it's an interesting theory.
That's an interesting theory. Number
you guys
5?
lagged out there.
Oh, we said
Sorry.
We said it was an
Yeah,
interesting
10.
theory.
Got it.
Interesting take.
Yeah.
Let's see. Number 5 for me is the Amazon show The Boys.
The Boys. I still haven't. I've been meaning to get into that, but I haven't yet.
I don't know. I honestly don't know how much you would enjoy it, Jake. David, have you seen it?
Well, I do like Invincible.
Well, yes, but this is
It's not
cartoon.
I'm aware of that. That's like kind of the main reason I've been hesitant is because like I can stomach most stuff, but if it's like really detailed, nasty live action gore, I don't know.
It is.
Yeah, it is. It's especially like the 3rd season, highly disturbing. But overall, I love the show. Like, I'm not recommending anybody to watch it because obviously that's something you need to do your own research on. It's not one of those I'm like, oh, it's so good, go watch it. Because it is viewer discretion is very much advised on that show.
I love finding all the memes that come across my page where it's got like the Homelander like violin music and it's like dun 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 dun. You know?
Yeah. Yep.
Like I will say, have you guys seen the movie Parallel?
No.
It's about this.
No,
group of,
I've been meaning to watch that, but no, I haven't seen it.
It's not bad actually. It's pretty interesting. It's about this group of like I want to say they're roughly college age, maybe a little bit older, like friends that find an old mirror in their house, and it's like a portal to parallel dimensions, and like every time you go under the mirror, it throws you into a random parallel dimension. When you go back in, it always takes you back to your prime dimension, and so. Like eventually they start like exploiting it because like they find parallel dimensions where technology is way more advanced and like they become rich quick and all this stuff but one of the, as is always with this kind of a movie, one of the members of the group kind of goes insane with the power and the money, and eventually they're like, all right, like most of them are like, okay, we got to stop this, we've reaped enough of the benefits, we need to like destroy it or neutralize it in some way just to ensure that it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. And the one guy's like, no, my lust for power and wealth cannot be tainted. He literally starts murdering the other friends.
Wow.
It leads to a confrontation at the end where he chases them into the mirror, and then the last two come back out of the mirror, and they're like, he's gonna come back out, he's following us. And so like they're across the room, and the like girl jumps and slides across the floor. And so the way the mirror works is it's like perfectly perpendicular to the floor because it's on like a tilting, like it's on a rack where you can tilt it, right, or a frame. And so if it's parallel to or perpendicular to the floor, like straight up and down, the portal is closed. But if you tilt it towards angled like up, then that opens the portal. So she like slides across the floor and kicks it into a straight up position with her foot and closes the portal just as he comes through. So it cuts him in half perfectly, and his body falls on the floor. And it's the most detailed portrayal I've ever seen of like viscera on screen. Like you can see his all his internal organs like undulating and being all squishy, and there's blood everywhere. I was like, ooh, that's uncomfortable.
Yep, that's pretty gross. But yeah. On to the next one.
We're on number 4?
Yeah, number 4.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. Futurama.
Yep, number 4.
Nice.
This show, like many of the shows on my list, has transcended time itself, and it is about to come back for revival on Hulu. I'm very excited for that. But even if you go back to the original show before the first revival, it's got again great humor, intellectual humor. Like there are across the whole writing team, they have like it's like 8 or so, maybe more PhDs. Like they're very, I don't remember who, but someone once referred to them as the most overqualified writing team in the history of television. and it really shows. There's so many incredibly smart and clever jokes and stuff you wouldn't ever see the first time through. And they even made up their own alien language that they hide in the background that you can like decipher and translate. It's a great show, and the characters are all very lovable, and it's very quotable. It's The Simpsons, but it's sci-fi. I mean, it's it's no brainer. And yes, there's a crossover with The Simpsons.
Isn't it like the first episode where Bender like puts his arms on without having his arms on?
Yeah. Literally, like it shows 2 close-up shots of his arms going back into his shoulders,
and Fry's like, "How did you do that?"
And Fry's like, "How did you do that?" And he's like, "I don't know."
I wanted to get in that show, but
also visual gags like that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gotten around to it.
It's 100%. You know what? I'd recommend doing it with your fiance, because there's plenty of sweet moments between Fry and Leela.
Mm-hmm.
It's great to have something to parallel that to in real life. As I quietly shed a tear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe David, someday. Number 4.
My number.
Hopefully, you'll get there.
My number 4. Gonna have to give it up to the original Scooby-Doo.
Fair enough.
What was that, David?
I said
which one?
My number 4. I'm gonna have to give it up to the original Scooby-Doo series.
Okay. There's a great parody of that on Futurama, by the way.
Futurama has a lot of parodies. I think back to Futurama. Me and my brother say this to each other all the time. I just had to talk about it real quick because it's always so funny. But it's like when Fry is talking to the all knowledge brain or whatever, and he's like, "What really killed the dinosaurs?" And the brain's like, "Me!" And it like shows a flashback of him like flying around like zapping dinosaurs. Just oh god, so funny. But yeah, the original Scooby-Doo series, watched it all the time. It was awesome. My sister and I would always just sit at the kitchen table and watch it while we would eat lunch or whatever we had going on. And it was kind of repetitive, but I was a child and I loved it. And it led me to love. It kind of sparked my love of like mystery and like discovering things and trying to figure things out for yourself.
Absolutely,
it really
man.
Kickstarted that. And
shout outs to Shaggy.
Yeah, man.
Like Scoob, we gotta get out of here, man.
What's your Scooby-Doo? We're coming after you.
Well, in that light,
that's good too.
In light of shout out to Scooby, shout out to Matthew Lillard, who both played Shaggy, and is playing the William Afton in the upcoming.
Yeah, dude.
Upcoming finale. Have you guys seen the photos of the set they're building?
Yes.
He looks so good.
Oh, it looks beautiful. Gosh. I'm so excited for that.
I saw like a leak that they were doing like a shot in like a mall or something like that, and there was a fountain, and one of the characters was in the fountain. So I don't know if there's gonna be like a brutal drowning scene or what's gonna happen there. But
so cool. From the set photos I've seen, they're definitely doing, and according to like the cast release or the casting calls and stuff, they're shooting obviously a birthday party scene. And they've had 5 different kids. Well, they've had 5 different kids being casted, and one of them is he actually played young Luke in the Kenobi show.
Oh,
that actor. He's playing Fritz, which is one of the missing kids.
Yeah,
which is one of the kids from the missing children. So they said they're going to do a birthday party, and then they're doing a 80s style crime scene. So probably the aftermath of the missing children's incident.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So I don't know if that's going to be a flashback or if that's going to be happening in real time. But
I'm so hyped for that movie.
I know. I can't wait. I wonder.
Dude, me too. We got to go watch that together.
I hope. Oh yeah, 100%. I wonder if they'll have any like little like lore Easter eggs like in the background or like little stuff that like the actual like freaking fanatics. The FNAF fanatics will point out.
If they do, Matt Pat's going to be on top of that.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Dude, I don't know now, why the question he's blue balling us on that third part of his
Dude, tell me about it. I've been waiting for that for 3 weeks.
Nobody cares about Roblox, man. Gosh.
Yeah.
The question is, when he talks about the movie, will it be a film theory or a game theory? No.
It'll be a film theory.
Yeah, probably. Or you know what?
He'll
find some way to do a crossover so he can freaking plug his other channels.
Definitely.
Oh, for sure. Anyway, so we're on to my number 4 here. We took a little sidetrack there.
Yeah.
We're excited.
My,
We're all excited, man.
I know. My number 4 is Psych.
Oh,
2000.
I knew
Sorry,
that.
2006.
I knew that was gonna be on there.
it's one
Yeah,
of my
of course it
honorable
is.
mentions.
Dude, I rewatch that show so often. I love it so much. Oh my gosh, the humor that's involved between Gus and Sean, just like all the inside jokes that they share, is so funny.
Mhm.
And the crap that Gus puts up with is just hilarious.
It's so funny, yeah. Like just the kind of stuff that happens in that show would only happen in a show, and I think that's part of what makes it so good.
Yeah.
You know? Like I recently came up with not recently, but I came up at one point with my own little mini theory that like it's not so much that Sean is I mean, you know, he is very hyper observant, and you know, but the way he's able to so easily pass as a psychic is not. That's not the main reason. The main reason is the gross stupidity and incompetence of the State of Harvard Police Department.
Yeah. Yeah, and the fact that they just like believe him on all this
He
stuff,
just
it's like
freaking roll with it.
like-
Like no one listens to Lassiter. Everyone treats Lassiter like he's insane when he's like he's not a real psychic.
yeah, like there are sometimes I'll be watching, I'll be like I could have done better police work than they're doing. Like it's
yeah.
kind of ridiculous.
Like there are some times when Sean literally just looks up and then whatever is the clue is right there. Like no one looked up on the ceiling. Yeah, still a good show though.
well, what gets me is there's that one episode with the their old buddy, the alien chaser,
Oh,
and
Mary?
both
Oh no.
no, not Mary. Gosh, I can't remember his name. He used to be fat and he had asthma, but then when he grew up, he was like he pretended to be a jock because his girlfriend was like super hot or whatever.
Oh, that's not ringing any
His words, not
bells.
mine.
Jerry.
Anyway, so he had a secret room with like a bunch of nerdy crap, and
Did he
both
get murdered?
him and no,
Okay. I was thinking of someone else.
no, he helped them solve a murder, but both him and Gus in that episode talk about how Sean has I've got a clue face where he like tilts his head and like squints his eyes,
Yeah.
and he does it multiple times in that episode, and they're like, "You're doing I have a clue face," and it's like, how are they noticing that, but the police don't? Like they don't look at him, they don't see him like squinting at a piece of paper and be like, "Oh, I have this." It's like, why don't you just take a second look at that and you'll have it too? Like it's not that hard. But
Yeah,
anyways, back
I was
on to
always
number
kind of-
3.
Mind blown at how, like, offended Juliet gets in season, what is that, 7 or 8, when she finally, like, realizes he's not actually a psychic. Come on. Come
Yeah,
on,
I think
man.
it was. I think it was
He's obviously
season
not a
7.
psychic. I mean, I get why you were rolling. I get why they're all rolling with it, because he was absolutely solving crimes like a madman. But,
Yeah,
come on.
yeah, she completely overreacted. In my
Anyway,
opinion.
number 3.
Anyway,
Yes.
yes, number 3.
For my number 3, sorry, I was like still thinking about Psych. My number 3 is The Mandalorian,
Nice.
brought to us by
Yep.
Disney Plus, and the legendary Jon Favreau teaming up with. Oh crap! I had his name in my brain, but I brain farted.
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni, that's right. The man, the myth, the legend, Dave Filoni. This show single-handedly revived my faith in Star Wars post-Disney. After the disappointment that was the sequel trilogy.
Yep.
Actually, didn't this start coming out before 9?
No, they didn't. It didn't because they didn't because it came out after 9 because they were trying to. Even in season 1, they released or they have some little Easter eggs in there hinting towards how Snoke actually came around to being him. So this had to have happened after Palpatine's cloning crap thing happened, because the whole point of Grogu was of Pershing wanting Dr. Pershing wanting Grogu was to harvest his midichlorians.
Right.
And the reason for that was to help create Snoke. At least I think. I haven't seen any of the latest season yet, but
Yeah,
this came out after
sworn
9.
it came out before. That doesn't matter. The point is, sequel trilogy bad, Mandalorian good. This is the way. Shout out to Pedro Pascal. Obviously, I don't have to sit here and explain how wildly popular Mando got. We all know. But shout out to Bill Burr, referencing Office Space in season 2. Have you guys seen that movie?
Nope.
Shout out to Bill Burr for having one of the single most awesome ex-Stormtrooper like arcs ever.
Mm-hmm. Dude,
like,
I want his gun backpack, please.
Like, I realized Finn was an ex-Stormtrooper, and like I know John Boyega got kind of screwed over by Disney on his role
They did him dirty,
in the sequel trilogy. But Bill Burr in that like 1 or 2 episodes had a way better
he wasn't a Stormtrooper,
former Stormtrooper arc. Yeah, he was.
No, he literally, his line is to the Mandalorian is, "I wasn't a Stormtrooper, wise ass. He was a marksman." Or I think.
Well, he worked with the Empire.
The point is he worked for the Empire and he was a good shot. Which automatically rules out Stormtrooper.
That's actually not true, but that's a theory for another day.
Oh, okay.
Shut up, nerd. Anyway.
Yeah. No one asked. No, I'm just kidding.
The only reason they shoot bad is because the people they're shooting at have plot protection. That's literally it.
Anyway.
Every other instance you see them shooting people, they're described as deadly accurate.
I guess that's true. Although, maybe I'm misremembering, but don't they kind of like address that joke in Rebels at some point? Like, feel like they're like, why can't they hit us or something like that? I don't know. I mean, I probably misremember.
I remember. Well, I mean, Mark Hamill also said, like, in the in episode 4, he even like puts on the Stormtrooper helmet. He's like, man, I can't see anything out of this.
Oh, that's true. He does. You're right.
But yeah, I mean, every other like book or like story you hear about Stormtroopers are portrayed as dead, like very deadly.
That's true.
The only time they miss is when they're firing at super important characters. And that actually, I have a theory on that one. Is the Force itself is trying to keep those people alive, so they're whiffing their shots.
Yes, the midichlorians in the air.
It's whatever. The Force surrounds all beings, Jake. It flows through us and around us.
Yes, that's why I was saying that.
I stay away from midichlorians.
Midichlorians, not even once.
Anyways, David, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is going to have to be Attack on Titan, which is an anime.
Yep, another anime.
Yep. And
never seen that one. Don't really watch it.
You little weeaboo.
It is a amazing TV show. It has got so much depth to it. It is just the amount of effort that's put into it. They're almost done with it. It's been. Why are you laughing, Jake?
I don't know whether it was lag or whether it was you actually struggling to speak, but you're like, it's so good.
It's definitely lag. or not. I don't know. I can't remember. But
oh, you're not denying it.
I don't know. But it's taken them almost 13 years to complete the series, which is in itself is part of the series because there's the whole thing that you'd have to watch it to understand. But it starts off with it's just like the premise of the name, like, oh, humanity is trapped inside its walls of its cities, and there are titans that will attack you if you leave the walls. Pretty basic. There's a team of scouts, and they go out and try to find new land, and they fight titans. Cool stuff, you know? And then by the time you get to, like, the 3rd and 4th season, that's where everything goes downhill, and it just becomes, like, the deepest, darkest show that you'll ever watch with all the, like, undertones and themes that they have with, like, mass genocide and, like, neo-Nazism and stuff like that. I don't know. It's super cool. I can't wait for them to finish it, but it's been, yeah. If you have the time and you're into anime, please watch this. It is like a staple of that genre of stuff.
Speaking of anime,
my problems with anime is that, except on like very rarely, most animes are like 600 episodes long.
That's true. They're very long.
And like, I'm not gonna sit through all of those episodes. Like, that's not something. Plus, I don't like that kind of animation. I really, really don't.
Well, let me ask you both something. Did you guys watch Star Wars Visions?
Yes.
I have not yet. I literally keep meaning to get around to it, but I just
Okay.
I don't have the
I've
time to
seen-
sit down and
I've seen
actually watch
some of
it.
Okay, I would say I recommend it. Like I was never into anime either, Brian. I mean, you know, I addressed it. It's very popular, but I love Star Wars, right? So I watched it, and because it's like, you know, that IP that you're familiar with, the mechanics of the Star Wars universe, you can relate to it more easily, and I was able to understand the appeal of that art style and that way of animation. Now, obviously, anime tends to be a little weird, at least from a Western standpoint. So, like, it didn't get weird because Disney had control over it, but it's very beautiful and well done. So please do watch it.
Yeah, I do most of my TV show watching while I'm at work, and you know, because I can just have my phone sitting in my toolbox. So unless it's like,
That's pretty great.
yeah, so it's like I can listen to it, but it's rare that I actually get to sit there and just watch it the whole time.
I will say then, don't.
So
You
that's
should
why I try
reserve
not to.
Visions
That's
for
why I
when
try
you
not
can
to.
sit down and actually look at a screen, because there's a lot of
Yeah, that's why I try not.
Visual.
I try not to start new TV shows unless I can actually sit down and watch
Yeah.
it. 'Cause, most of the time, I'm just playing them at work.
listen to podcasts,
what are
bro.
I can't do it. I can do audiobooks, but I can't do
Oh,
podcasts.
that's weird. What about like audio
Which is-
dramas?
I can do audio dramas. I like audio dramas.
Okay.
Number 3 for me is Sherlock, the BBC show, starring
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch. My mind blinked on his name.
Hey,
Benedict
Emerson Best
Cumberbatch
of
and
us.
Martin Freeman. I know. Him and Martin Freeman, they absolutely one of the best portrayals of Sherlock Holmes that I've watched or read about. Well, okay, obviously not read about because
That's not a
the
book.
original Sherlock. I mean, yeah. I'm talking about like besides the original Sherlock Holmes, obviously, from the things that are created from that, whether it be books or stories or shows or TV or movies or whatever, the BBC version is definitely my favorite. Not that it's like more accurate, but
Yeah. Let me
I like
clarify.
the
I know
modern-
Sherlock Holmes is a book. I meant Benedict Cumberbatch is not a book.
No. Oh gosh, what was I saying?
What is your opinion on Robert Downey Jr.
Oh.
though? As Sherlock.
See, I enjoyed it, but it didn't hit right. It just
No.
him playing Sherlock Holmes. It just yeah, I wasn't. I like those movies. Don't get me wrong. I loved Jude Law as
Watson.
Doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Watson,
Sorry,
yeah.
Moriarty.
No, he played Doctor Watson.
Oh, did he?
Dr. Watson.
Oh man, I don't know. It's been forever.
Moriarty. Gosh, I don't remember who played Moriarty, but I can't remember his name. But no, I wasn't a huge. I like those movies. I watch them a lot, but yeah, when it comes to if somebody asked me who my favorite Sherlock Holmes was, it'd definitely be Cumberbatch. That whole show is just absolutely beautiful. It's well made. I like that over Psych, like because like Psych, as much as I enjoy it, like you said, it's dumb that the
It's
police department
goofy.
in that show is like, oh yeah, he's just psychic, and nobody even second guesses it. Whereas Sherlock is
Except for
straight up like,
Lassiter.
yeah, but it's like Sherlock. People think he's a psychic, and he's like, no. And he's like, I'm just, and then I like how he then points out everything.
Yeah, he
that,
like explains how he
all
came
this
to
stuff.
his conclusions.
Yeah, so it's like,
That's
okay,
great.
now I can understand. Like it makes sense. That's where like watching that show is what got me into. Well, is really what mainly got me into detective stuff and then like crime solving, and that's when I first started like actually trying to pay attention to every single little detail around me, because it's like the details is what matter.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, which is funny because obviously it's not definite right now, but I want to start taking like psychology and criminology classes
Okay.
to maybe go into that kind of work.
You'd be a. What would you? What? Wait, hang on. What? That doesn't. That's kind of. The skills can
Like,
be used for a lot of career paths, Brian.
I mean like detective-ish work, so
Okay.
police departments, or whether it's actually just being a police officer or being a detective.
I don't think now is a
getting
good
there at
time
some
to be a
point.
cop.
Well, I don't know. I say it's going to take me a while, anyways, to even get to that point. But
I mean,
it is definitely something it's just something I'm interested
not
in.
necessarily. If you wanted to be a cop right now, you could go down to the academy tomorrow and
I could,
apply.
but it would be better if for me to get to where I want to be, not just
then
being
you should definitely But I'm just saying, if you wanted to, they give just about anybody a badge and a gun these days.
That's funny.
Ah,
That's funny. That's actually I have a story I'll tell you afterwards, but
okay,
because I don't think I should share it on the podcast, but.
fair.
Yeah, I have a story for that, so remind me when we're done here.
Guys, tune
We're on
in
to
next
our
month
top
to
two.
see Brian Malkoff. No, I'm just kidding.
Gosh, no.
Brian Blart.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, number two. My number two is Symbiotic Titan. Have either of you heard of that?
Nope.
I have not.
Darn,
No.
son, it's a really, really good show. So it aired on Cartoon Network in 2010. Yeah, I think thereabouts, and it's a traditional 2D animation created by Jindy Tartakovsky, who's best known for shows like Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Lab, Clone Wars 03, and Samurai Jack, to name a few. And two other guys whose names I can't remember off the top of my head. I feel bad, but they're equally important in this. And it takes heavy inspiration from like mecha anime. So like it's about these three aliens, and it's that age-old trope where it's aliens that look exactly like humans, but they're from another planet, and that planet is called Gallaluna, and their planet comes under siege by an enemy alien, and like some of the Gallalunans like stage a coup and try to overthrow the kingdom, and so the king sends his daughter and his best soldier and a special robot into a rocket, and they escape the carnage, and the king is taken and held hostage by the leader of the coup, and so the princess, the soldier, and the robot escape to Earth, and they're like on Gallaluna, they're like adults, right? They're like the princess is obviously getting ready to take the throne as the main heir, and the soldier's been a soldier for many years now, but they're like they get to Earth and they're like, oh man, we look like high schoolers. So they go to like hide on Earth. They go to high school, and the robot poses as both their dad when they're not in high school and their brother when they're in high school. And so the leader of the coup is like, where'd you send them? And he eventually figures out that it's Earth. So he keeps sending giant monsters through a port, like a wormhole, to kill them on Earth. And so whenever that happens, the princess and the soldier, they have this technology where they have like a wristwatch and they hit it and it gives them like giant robot armor. And so what they do is they combine their armors with the robot into what's called the symbiotic defense system. So it's a massive, colossal robot when they combine their forces, and they use that powerful robot to defend Earth. And it's a fantastic show. I'm rambling.
I'm hearing like Power Rangers sort of thing.
Well, yeah, I guess. I guess you could. I mean, like the whole like joining to make a giant robot. That's about as far as it goes. But it's a fantastic show. It's got great humor, very well written characters, and an awesome art style. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10.
All right.
I can't stress it enough, and it's very, very underrated. Like it's another one of those hidden. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry, Brian. Edit that out. It's one of those hidden gems. Legendary.
Okay.
I'm dying.
All right, David. Number 2. Yeah, that's
right.
okay. So are we.
The number 2 on my list is Gravity Falls.
Hey!
And there it is. As Jake was talking about it earlier, just an amazing show, and as the season progresses, like the comedy and just the depth of the show also increases.
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's so much like people have devoted so much time to trying to like decipher things about the show and find like secret codes and like
Yeah, the ARGE.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
legendary.
it's just when it ended, I actually shed a couple tears. I was so sad that it was over. It was just an amazing. The wrap up to the show was amazing, and even after Dipper got his little letter that said "See you next summer," knowing there would be no next summer because the show was over was heart wrenching.
Oh yeah, I just it's a shame that it was only 2 seasons, but like
I know.
when you hear
At
how Alex Hirsch talks about how like strenuously and late he worked every night, like he was physically killing himself, man. It sounded so brutal,
I
and
know,
I
but
understand completely why he stopped.
I thank him every day for his sacrifice.
Yeah, plus he was fighting with the censors at Disney for like almost every little thing.
Mm-hmm. It was wonderful. I would if I would get I would do anything to watch that over again for the first time.
Right? Oh man.
Man, I really gotta watch that.
You
show,
should.
man.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
You said it was 2 seasons?
Yes.
Not that big a commitment,
I can do
but
that.
oh my gosh, you will
Yeah.
not want to stop watching it. You will
There's
not
so
want
many.
to put the remote down.
Once you get past the first couple episodes that are like, oh, haha, they're fighting like forest creatures. Isn't this adorable? That's when you're like, oh, there's
Yeah.
plot twist after plot twist, and like you start
Mhm.
connecting dots, and it's just
Yeah, and then in the second season, they a little like piece of a puzzle is dropped at the end of every episode, and eventually you put them all together, and it like there's like code in it and stuff. It's great. It's great.
All right, cool. My number 2 is Doctor Who.
Hey, did you ever watch like the original series, like pre?
I watched a little bit. Yeah, I didn't watch all of them, but I watched a little bit.
Yeah, like where it's like black and white.
Yep, those are good too. Those are really good.
I don't doubt it.
But no, the new Who, the 2005 and on, is just absolutely phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Eccleston did a fantastic job bringing the series back.
Have you seen the Whittaker seasons?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I say it kind of died out for me after Clara left with Capaldi. I watched a little bit of the new one or of his other companion. I watched quite a bit of that one, but I couldn't get his later season, like the later part of that season, to where it was like getting close to Whittaker. I didn't really enjoy it, but yeah, Eccleston through Capaldi are absolutely amazing. Each one did a fantastic job of portraying the Doctor. I mean, who he's supposed to be. I mean, several 100-year-old man who's been through the worst war in the universe, survived it, and then fixed it, and it's crazy. Matt Smith, by far my favorite Doctor. He does so well playing, like, his kiddish nature does so well playing that goofy, like, what's the right word? I don't want to say lackadaisical, but just...
There's just a childlike wonder to
yeah,
his
like
charm.
goofy witted, yeah. Like Eccleston was a very warrior-like Doctor because he had just come through the Time War. Then you got Tennant, who was starting to forget that part, or starting to get rid of that part of him and starting to play with more of his kiddish nature. And then Matt Smith comes along. He's like, hey, like dancing at weddings like this. Like,
Fish fingers and custard.
fish fingers and custard. Yeah, goofy little dude. Also, but but anyways, yeah.
I will say,
I don't
if
know
you
where
watch
it's going with
Community, there's a great like in-universe parody of Doctor Who called Inspector Spacetime, and it becomes like a recurring element of the show. It's pretty great.
Okay, guys, let's do our.
Honorable
Let's-
mentiones.
We need to fly through these because we're running out of time
that's
here.
okay. I
Let's
only
fl-
have a couple.
Okay, I have the most.
I've only
so should
got-
I probably
yeah,
go
like-
first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
I only
ahead.
have.
Okay.
I've got 2. So
Clone Wars 03 as my first one. So that's Star Wars Clone Wars, no the, and it obviously came out in 03, and it served as like a pilot series to what would eventually become Clone Wars 08. Also Tower Prep.
that was like an anime style sort of thing.
Did either of you watch Tower Prep?
No.
Nope.
Okay, so that was also on Cartoon Network around the same time as I think maybe a little earlier than Symbionic Titan. It was one of their like first forays into live action format. It's about a bunch of kids at a preparatory school, but like the thing is like they don't go there of their own volition. They'll be going about their normal daily life. They'll hear ringing noise, lose consciousness, and then wake up into school. And then like they all find out that they like have basically superpowers. And like it surrounds this like certain group of friends that are trying to escape it. But there's like a wall around the school and all this other stuff. It's very, very, very good. Only lasted one season, then got canceled. Darn shame. Yeah, but it's good. Scrubs, also another legendary TV show. Another, if you like two goofy friends hanging out like Psych, Scrubs is the way to go. Very similar dynamic.
Okay.
There. Malcolm in the Middle. A lot of great belly laughs for me. Even when I've been doing a rewatch recently, and I'm still laughing really hard as I watch it. Great show. I haven't finished my rewatch, so maybe I'll get back to you on the last couple seasons, but I've been enjoying it thus far. Camp Lazlo came out in the summer of 2005 as part of their new lineup.
Yeah.
Flippin' legendary show. Maybe because I was in the Scouts, I felt like I could relate to it more closely, but I really just loved the art style and the humor of that show. As a kid, it really just kind of spoke to me, And Joe Murray, his other show, Rocko's Modern Life, classic 90s Nick, also a great show. And my final honorable mention that I want to shout out, well, no, I'm sorry, two more. Terminator, The Sarah Connor Chronicles. It was a TV show that came out in the early 2000s, and it takes place between Terminator 2 and Terminator 3. In my opinion, it's better than anything that came out after 2. And even though it doesn't have Arnold Schwarzenegger or Linda Hamilton, it's got what is it, Lena Headey as Sarah Connor, and it's really great. It like kind of delves into some of the lore, and if you've ever wanted to watch a Terminator massacre a SWAT team while Johnny Cash plays in the background, they've got you covered. And a show called Travelers, which is it's a time travel show. But what's unique about it is, most of the time when you see time travel, they have like maybe a watch or like a vehicle, right, that they climb into to travel through time. But the way this one works is a computer sends their consciousness back into the body of someone in the past who's like about to die, and they like just take over their body basically, and they kind of assimilate into their life. And they're sent back in order to like prevent the apocalypse from happening. It's a really good show, like really good. I can't stress that enough. It's incredible, and it's all on Netflix.
Nice.
Go watch it.
Yeah, I think I've heard of Travelers. I haven't seen it though.
It's very good.
All right.
I've been debating rewatching it, but I just don't have time. Anyway, David.
All right, my honorable mentions. I've only got a few. Some of you guys already talked about it. The Good Place is definitely one that I would shout out. Manifest, obviously, that show.
Oh yeah,
super
good show.
cool.
Are you
Merlin?
hyped for the second half of season 4?
I am.
Oh yeah.
I definitely am. Merlin is an honorable mention.
Ooh, that's a
Love
good
that
one.
show.
Yeah,
So great.
Never seen that one.
You should
It's good.
watch it. It's great.
Is it about the wizard?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What's it
And
on?
then it's on Netflix, or they might be taking it off.
I'll just pirate it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't know if any of you guys have seen it, but Only Murders in the Building.
I saw the first season. I haven't seen the
I have
second one
not
yet.
seen that.
The first one was so good.
It's such a good show, man.
So Jake, have you heard of it?
It sounds familiar.
It's Martin Short, Steve Martin, Selena Gomez,
Yeah. Okay.
and was there some other one other person, or was that it?
That's it.
That's it. So those three, which by the way, Steve
Steve Short.
Martin and Martin. Well, it's Martin Short and then Steve Martin. So I get confused. But those two together are comedy
it's
legends.
awesome, and
Absolutely.
they start a crime podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay.
You should
In the
watch
show?
it. Yeah, in the show
Yep.
they do.
Okay.
That's kind of like the premise of the show. Not really.
Oh, okay.
But, that's
Sounds interesting.
it's awesome.
It's
You should watch it.
funny. It's very funny.
I will say, real quick, just speaking of piracy, and I briefly mentioned that some of the shows I mentioned, like Tower Prep or Symbiotic Titan, you might have to, like, piracy might be the only way to watch it, simply because, like, when HBO Max like did their like merger thing with Cartoon Network's properties, they took a lot of them down, and now there's really no way to get access to them. So yeah, and Tower Prep basically fell into obscurity. So yeah, Brian.
Okay, so I've only got
Yeah, no, I was
Okay.
good.
so I've only got two. One of them is Haven, which takes place in Haven, Maine. It's really weird. It's what was that? There's a group of Native Americans that like went missing. It's very famous. Like they went missing.
Yeah, wait, in real life?
Roanoke? No. Yeah, no, in real life.
Okay.
Haven is not based in real life, but it is based around a town that happened in, and there's a lot of mysterious, creepy things that go on there.
Ah, okay.
I wonder when it was.
Like Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
So 2010 is when it came out. But it's only on VIX.
So a little on the older side.
Yes, definitely on the older side, but so this FBI agent basically goes to Haven, Maine, and like the townspeople just are really weird. There's like a bunch of supernatural stuff that happens.
Sounds like Twin Peaks.
And oh, so it's based on Stephen King's The Colorado Kid.
Oh, okay.
But it's a really good show. It's been a while since I've seen it, but it is so good. And then the other honorable mention I have is not actually mine. It is from my fiance. She wanted me to shout it out, and that is Barbie Life in the Dream House.
Yeah.
It's actually, as dumb as it sounds,
It's not a bad show.
yeah, as dumb as it sounds, it's not a bad show. If you want to, it's a good show. Like if you just watch something really freaky and scary, pop on some Barbie.
I've
and
never seen
good.
Wait a minute. Are you guys being serious right now?
Yeah.
No, I'm deadly serious. It's on Netflix. It's just goofy.
Huh.
It's really stupid, but it's goofy.
Huh.
No, I wouldn't say stupid. It's just dumb
I
humor.
will say,
But
my
it's
sister
really.
watched a lot of the Barbie movies as a kid.
Yep, I'm marrying a Barbie girl.
Huh. In her Barbie world.
Pretty much, yeah.
Huh. Are you gonna go see the new Barbie
But, yeah.
movie?
I want to actually. I'm not gonna lie. It's Margot Robbie. All right, give
Yeah,
me a
fair
break.
enough. No, I don't blame you in the slightest.
She was fantastic as Harley Quinn, and she does really well in her movies. So, okay, let's get on to our number ones and.
Number
Wrap it up.
1. Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Specifically,
The
2000.
included.
That was on my crap. I was gonna be an honorable mention. That was on my list, but I took it out.
Oh, I can't believe you, Brian. Anyway, this show and the 03 one both gave deep characterization to the clones we met in the Attack of the Clones, rather, and deepened the lore of of other characters too, like Darth Maul, General Grievous, even Jar Jar Binks. But yeah,
My man gets himself a girlfriend.
if you felt like the prequels are missing anything, you'll probably find that in the Clone Wars. It's got the action, your intrigue, your politics, your clones, your battle droids. It's all good stuff, man. I like
Your politics.
the Maul arc might be my favorite television
absolutely
arc
beautiful.
ever.
Especially in season 7.
Yeah.
Season 7's Maul art. Oh,
I'm glad they
beautiful.
brought back the Siege of Mandalore when they brought back the Clone
Me
Wars.
too.
Like, I know they were
Very
like
much
picking and
so.
choosing from which arcs to bring back, and I'm glad that was one of them. I'm sad they didn't do the one with Ventress and Quinlan Voss though. That one was good.
I'm expecting to see Quinlan Voss in
Bad
the
Batch.
next. No, so
That's good
he
too.
was hinted at. He was hinted at in the Kenobi show, as being one of the Jedi who helped other Jedi escape.
Did they
the clutches
drop
of
his
the
name?
Empire. Yeah, it was in writing on a wall. He had written some
Oh,
stuff.
yeah,
and then,
yeah.
I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi straight up was like talking about Master Voss. So
Right.
I'm expecting to see him in some time of live action. I don't know if it's going to be Mandalorian or Book of Boba Fett or next season of Kenobi or what.
Who do you think should play him?
Or maybe the Ahsoka show. I think it's the Ahsoka show.
That probably would be it. Who do you think is going to play him? Like who would you cast?
I don't know. There's somebody else. I think they already had a casting for him, but I don't remember because they are also bringing back Ezra Bridger
Oh
in
yeah,
the Ahsoka show, and they're going to have both of them in it, and they already cast him. I
man.
think.
He's not a very likable character in my opinion.
Quinlan
No, no,
Voss.
no, no,
Oh, I
Ezra.
love that guy.
I love Quentin Voss.
Oh no, okay. Ezra was kind of a bit annoying. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I don't like the fact that he got to defeat Thrawn. Like that's ridiculous.
Wait, was that actually the end of this? Is that Thrawn's death?
No, not technically, but he did beat him. Well, actually, I don't think it is his death because I think he's supposed to come back. But
Yeah.
but no, he does beat him.
Also,
and-
what a terrible way to go out.
I know, right? Space whales.
Yeah. Okay, wait. You said you haven't watched the latest season of Mandalorian?
No, I have
Okay,
not.
well, this isn't really a spoiler, but there is a nod to those whales in the first episode of season 3.
Captain,
Do we get a live action shot of it?
Captain, that'll be
Well, it's their silhouette, but you can. I'm fairly certain that's what that's supposed to be.
Darn, that sounds like it would be a bit spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. Like they're flying through hyperspace, and Grogu looks up out of his window in the like Naboo, the Nubian starfighter, and he sees a silhouette of them like. It's not really swimming because they're in space, but they're like next to the not next to them, but you can see the silhouette behind the hyperspace effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Anyways,
that's cool.
David.
All right, my number one.
Yeah.
It came out in 1989. It has been a staple of Nintendo
goodness.
for a very long time. You know him, you love him. It's the Super Mario Bros. Super Show!
Oh, hey there, paisanos!
This show has been like the staple of my childhood.
Dude,
for
I have the
longest
DVD box
time.
set. That's so
I
fun.
also have the DVD box set, and
Oh my
it's just
gosh.
nothing has the better theme song. If you've seen the Mario movie, you know it now. Or at least the gist of it. It's very
Mario,
similar.
you mean the one with Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo?
Mm-hmm.
Is it in that?
Yeah, the new one.
Oh frick! I have to watch that movie now.
Yeah, there's like a scene where the lady who plays Peach is like the original voice actor that was in the Super Mario Bros. Super Show.
Oh, that's cool.
It's awesome, but it's just I loved it. I've always loved it. It made me love Mario even more. I played Super Mario Galaxy when I was just a young lad, and then watching that along with all the other Mario stuff I did was just wonderful. Great show. Go watch it. It's old, but it's great.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the Zelda cartoon?
No. I've seen like a little bit of it, but I was more interested in Mario.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm just asking because they would always tease it at the end of every episode.
Really?
Yeah, they'd be like, "I'm so excited to check out these exciting scenes for the next Legend of Zelda," and then it would show like a preview of the Legend of Zelda, like the next episode of the Legend of Zelda cartoon.
I have not seen either of those.
Oh, it's so good, dude! One of my favorite running bits, maybe ever, is like all the like nicknames that Koopa comes up with for the Mario Bros.
yes. Oh, so good.
And they're like clever too.
I know.
Where is it? It's the Super Mario Bros.
Super Mario Bros. Super Show. It's got
1989.
what's funny is it's got live action and cartoon. In my opinion, the live action in that show like looks better than the one in the Mario movie.
It does. There's
It's on Tubi.
Shout out to Lou Albano and Danny Wells. Luigi.
their office was
Mario.
their set was awesome.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon Prime. I will give that a watch.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
52 episodes, baby.
The animation was so funny because, like, if you looked hard enough, you could see like funny goofs and like animation and like mistakes. But that just adds to the charm.
With the Mario
my
Brothers
opinion.
and plummets the game.
Okay, that sounded like a song from Hamilton or something.
Yeah, it's a rap. It's a Mario rap.
Yeah. Okay. My number one came out in 2008. starring Simon Baker as a police consultant. It is The Mentalist.
Never heard
Okay.
of it.
Never watched it.
Absolutely fantastic. So his story is he was he used to be a psychic. Like he admits he wasn't actually psychic. He just scammed people into thinking he was psychic.
Like,
Very much like Psych and Sherlock. It's like Psych and Sherlock combined, but this one, in my opinion, it's a lot better. But
Is there a Gus? That's all I want to know.
So, is there what?
Does he have his own Gus?
Sort of. It's the main detective for the CBI, the California Bureau of Investigation, that he works with, like that he consults with. Her name is Teresa Lisbon, and she's kind of like his
Yeah,
Gus.
she's the straight man. Everyone needs a straight man.
Yeah, exactly. Like she's always trying to keep him on the rules and stuff, like follow protocol and all this stuff, and he goes behind her back, and
How many
anyways.
seasons is it?
7 seasons. So it's a decent show. There's like 20 some episodes in each season. So back when TV shows used to be like a lot of seasons with a lot of episodes that were really, really good, not these like 3 seasons with 6 episodes each kind of crap. But he starts out like as a psychic, and then or he used to be a psychic, and then he was working with the police to try to catch a serial killer, and he made fun of the serial killer on live TV. And when he got back home that night, he found out that serial killer had then killed his family in retaliation.
Ooh.
So
rough.
he gives up his psychicness, because he wasn't actually psychic to begin with, and spends the entire show basically helping the police with the crimes, but also
Trying to find that killer.
using his resources there to try to find his family's killer.
Does he find it?
And it's
Then?
I haven't seen the last season, so I don't know for sure.
Oh my gosh.
But so we watched the first 4 seasons, or the first 4 seasons back when it first came out, and in one of those seasons he kills who he thought was that serial killer, because he told him a lot of things that only that serial killer would know. But then come to find out it's not him. He was just a pawn. And so the serial killer's still out there. So I don't know if I haven't seen the last season, so I don't know if they catch. I'm assuming that he does at some point. But
okay,
it's absolutely amazing.
That would be cool if a nice satisfying wrap up to his character arc. But
yeah, I hope they do,
we'll never
because
know.
otherwise,
No.
yeah, that would be disappointing. I'll let you know after I finish watching it. I'll let you know. But yeah,
so just give a brief yes or no in order to not spoil it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I'll let you know, or I would highly recommend watching that show. It's on HBO.
Then I guess that means I'm pirating it.
That's fine. Go ahead. But yeah, absolutely amazing. The Mentalist.
All right. Well, and just to have a little wrap up segment to our episode, what are you guys? Anything good you're watching right now?
Nope, I'm not watching anything right now.
TV show wise,
Yeah.
nothing at the moment.
Really?
Just a lot of Markiplier videos.
I could rattle off at least 3. Obviously, The Mandalorian is at the top of my list. I'd also like to shout out The Bad Batch. Season 2 recently started airing earlier this year. And
Yep.
I'm watching through this show right now called Severance. It's an Apple TV original, but screw that company, I'm pirating it. And it's about this guy who works at a company where they do what's called this process called severance, where you have a chip implanted in your brain that separates your work memories from your personal life memories, right? So
Interesting.
you're outing your person on the outside. You walk into the building, you put your stuff in a locker, and then you enter this elevator, and then you kind of just flash forward, and then boom, it's the end of your shift, and you're coming back out the elevator, and then for the person on the inside, you're Innie, the elevator doors open, and you're there, and you do your work, you in your shift, and then you go back to the elevator, they close, and then boom, they open, and it's the next day. And so it's about his coworker mysteriously gets stops showing up to work, and he undergoes this process that was previously thought impossible to recombine your memories, and he's suffering from that because it's having a cataclysmic effect on his brain because it's two lives being mashed into one. It's very surrealist and interesting.
It's called Severance.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at it.
Yeah, the like cover image is a very distinctive picture of, I think it's Adam Scott is his name. He's the guy who played Ben in Parks and Rec, and he's like sitting at a desk, and the top half of his head is cut off, and there's a miniature version of him at a computer in the head.
I like him. He's a good actor.
Oh
He's
yeah.
great.
Just for that, I might watch it.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
But again, unless you have Apple TV, you gotta pirate it.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'll figure out something.
I recommend the Piracy Mega Thread on Reddit. There, it's a great resource. Go there.
Okay. With that, we should probably wrap up because I got places to be.
Yep, fair enough. I love how you're looking at an empty wrist.
It's just a habit actually, which is funny because I very rarely wear my watch, so I don't know why I do that.
All right, it looks like you're on my wrist. That
I've got a new
2 hairs
freckle.
past a freckle.
Well, thank you all for listening. We'll see you next month. Anyone else have anything they'd like to say? We need to have like a send-off phrase to say at the end of the every episode.
We really do. Because
stay in drugs, don't do school.
What?
What?
Wait, what?
I said
You say
stay in
do
drugs, don't
go
do.
to school?
No, I said stay in drugs, don't do school.
Oh yeah, get at least 8 hours of milk and drink plenty of sleep.
Yeah.
No, that's not
Okay.
original in the slightest. We need something that'll be iconic and memorable. Like,
See you in 20 years.
see you. That's not bad, actually.
See you in 20 years.
See you in 20 years.
Well, except we'll see them next month.
Yeah, we will, but we also will. You know what I mean? It's deep, it's deep, man.
Ooh, that is deep. That's very deep. I like that.
Oh, okay. I
So
like
we
it.
will see you in 20
See you in
years.
20 years.
See you in 20 years.
Alright.
Thank you guys once again for joining us on this episode of the Time Capsule Podcast. Our intro music is called Adventurous Intro 1 by JeremMusic70. Our outro is Chill Hot Main by Zach Arvalaha. Both of these songs can be found on pixabay.com. Don't forget to look in the description for this episode and click on either the link for SpeakPipe or on the Anchor link if you want to leave us a voice message for a chance to be featured in our next episode. Also, I have it set up that if you guys like our content and you want to keep hearing more, you can click on the donation button to support us. Any amount is great. You don't have to, though. We do this for fun anyways. It's just an option if you like us enough. But thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one.